My name is Natasha B. Russell, aka NBR, and I am your host. I am all about inspiring, motivating, and empowering people like yourself out there, men and women, including myself, to become the best possible version of myself, of ourselves. And that's a big part about what I do every day. I am a transformation coach certified. I help men and women all over the world achieve their goals and their dreams. And how do I do that? Through certain coaching techniques. I focus on mindset, communications, confidence, strategic planning, and finding your purpose and giving you clarity around that. So that's a big part about what I do. I'm also a certified motivational speaker. As many of you know, so I'm all about sharing inspirational messages, hosting events for women and men to help you, again, become the best version of yourselves. And last but not least, I am the president and CEO of NBR Strategic Solutions, Inc. And we have a team of people that help you, potentially, if you're a business owner, build your brand, get it in the public eye. And that's a big part of what I do, so public relations. So that's a little bit about me. Feel free to share in the comment section below a little bit about yourself. Again, where are you coming from? Oh, Jamaica, living in the UK, lovely. I haven't been to the UK yet, but I do plan to visit. I have family there. And yeah, so welcome. So today's show is going to be an exciting one. We do have a guest from the US. He is a published author. He is also, I'd say, a motivational speaker, pastor. He's definitely big on inspiration, motivation. And today's topic, we're talking about how to prosper in a pandemic. You know, it's a global pandemic. We've all just been going through, and now we're thankfully in Calgary, and I'm sure where you are, we're having, what we call certain opportunities to come back and connect with people. The way we connect now has changed, of course, but what we're doing is taking it in stages. So I'm happy that now, stores are being open, essential services were open weeks ago, but there's places now where we can go with family and friends. The parks are opening to get back to socializing, and living a norm, back to the new norm of life, shall I say. So without further ado, let's get started. Again, Marcus Gill will be joining me, and I'll allow him to share a little bit about himself and what he does. And again, for those of you who are joining us, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here today. Feel free to drop in the comment section below. Where are you from? And I'm always big on goals. Goals. What goal or goals do you want to achieve by the end of the year? Feel free to write in the comment section. Research states that we are 76% more likely to achieve our goals if, one, we write it down and share it with someone, share it publicly. So I want to encourage you to do that today. So let me get my guest on the NBR Show. Welcome, Pastor Marcus, or should I say Marcus Gill. I know he goes by many different things, but I'll allow him to introduce himself to you all. So thanks again for joining me. Well, hello there.
How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you doing?
Blessed and highly favored.
I love it, right?
Yes, blessed and highly favored.
Yes.
Listen, whoever that is, you have somebody in your comments called Caribbean food or something like that?
Yes.
Authentic Caribbean cooking? I don't know where they are, but I want to see them ASAP.
Did you hear that? Authentic Caribbean cooking? We got an order potentially for you.
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but man, the name, Authentic Caribbean Cooking,
yes.
I'm definitely interested in seeing what it is they have to offer.
Some good Jamaican food, that's for sure.
Right.
So where are you now? Where are you located in the U.S.?
I'm at home. I'm home right now, and I came home to do this.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to up. We got a lot of people waiting to hear from you today.
Really?
Yes, really. But
well,
where do
I'm
you
excited.
U.S.? Where are you?
Yeah.
Where do you actually live in the U.S.?
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
All right. So it's nice and hot over there. I'm pretty sure. Pretty hot.
Today is really awkward. It's been really cloudy today and unusually cold.
Oh, really? And here on the other side where I am in Calgary, Alberta, we're having heat. It feels like summer today. The sun is out finally, feeling like,
And like normally during this part of the day, I'm sitting by the pool and reading. Today I'm inside.
Well, what? Things change. Things change, but you always got to look at the positive part of everything.
Yeah, man. The positive side is this. If I record some videos today outside, they're going to be perfect because there's no sunlight fighting with me.
Right? Good light.
I always fight with sunlight. You know what? That's a good idea. Maybe after that, I might go to the beach and make a video.
You should do that. You definitely should. But all right, let me not keep you long. So we got 20 minutes together, 25 potentially. And I want to start off by asking, you know, I call this like my number one question. Who are you? Who is Marcus Gill?
Who am I? Who is Marcus Gill?
Yeah, who are you?
Man, listen, I am a man. I'm a humus man, humus male. Got to be specific.
Okay.
I'm a humus male, enjoying this short thing called life in a bigger bubble called time that lives in a magnanimous bubble called eternity.
Mm.
And I'm trying to make sure I never waste a second. So I am a good time manager, life manager.
Mm-hmm.
So while not wasting time in my own life, I try to inspire others to never waste time as well, and always be on the go to produce something big, something great.
Right? Because that's the truth, is that time is something that we will never get back. So we got to spend it wisely,
Surely.
effective with our time, right? Because once it's gone, it's gone.
That's right. That's right. Time waits for no man. That's one of the things that we can't control. We control a lot of stuff, but time is not going to slow down just because you don't like it.
It's not true.
Time is not going to make a post and then delete it because you put a negative comment.
Right? Okay, so I know you also have a wife. You got a child, a beautiful daughter. So you're a husband, you're a parent.
And we have a daughter on the way, if you haven't heard.
Congratulations. So your family is expanding. That's exciting.
It's going to be 3-on-1, 3 women and 1 guy.
Oh my God.
And I'm excited. I'm excited about that part.
Well, you know, women, you know, we're definitely amazing human beings. Just our men as well, but of course, 3
Sure thing.
Good ratio. All right, so why don't you share with the audience and people who are joining, again, feel free if you have questions as we go through, drop them in the comment section, and I'll get Pastor Marcus Gill to answer them for you. But tell me a little bit funny facts about yourself, something that nobody probably knows about you.
A funny fact about me? You know, I think something funny that nobody knows about me, man, that could go a long way. I got a lot of secrets. But I think maybe my greatest is maybe sharing one of my fears. I have this unbelievable fear of having a brain freeze while on live TV.
Really?
Or a brain freeze while preaching. That's my greatest fear. I hate spiders. I can't stand spiders. But I think my greatest fear other than spiders is to be on stage preaching or teaching or doing a seminar or on live TV and somebody asks me a question and we start talking and I have a brain freeze and I can't like back my answer up with a solid answer, or I get in the middle of a point. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And you just forget. You know, you're like, oh man, where was I supposed to go with this? That's one of my biggest fears.
But obviously, has it happened to you while you're speaking or preaching?
Yes, that's happened many times actually. But I think the greatest was this time I was speaking at a service in Houston, Texas. And I used to use my iPad, for my notes.
Yeah.
And hey, I see my friend G-Fem on here.
See? Oh, he says, tell Pastor Marcus I want his glasses.
Listen, G-Fem and I, we have traveled back and forth. We've done the conferences in the U.S. and in Nigeria together. You should connect with him. I think you guys will really connect good.
All right. Well, reach out to him, send me a DM.
I'll make that.
You already got your first question. I'm sure there's probably more. Why is the churches closed and the preachers against this? Alexander Patterson, do you know?
I don't know, but I'll answer that in a minute. But I had a big struggle because I was speaking one time and I accidentally erased all of my notes. You have an iPhone, right?
Yes.
And so in my iPhone, hey, my friend Pastor Walker's here too. What's up, Pastor Walker? He's in Phoenix, Arizona. That's my guy right there.
All right, welcome.
But another good connection. But I was teaching one time and my notes, I hit the notepad in the iPhone.
Yeah.
And I accidentally highlighted all the notes and I hit delete while I was preaching.
Oh no.
But this was one of the few times that I actually went in with notes. I hardly ever go with notes. I have like little points. This time I was like, I'm just gonna go in because this is what they want to talk about. So I'm gonna write these points down and we're gonna talk about this. And I erased all of them. But then it was a sign to me that what I had written down wasn't what they were supposed to hear.
Ah.
But I freaked out, but nobody ever. It was like, man, that was a great message. And it was all off the dome.
That's why that's what I love about speaking, to be honest, is when you go up there, nobody has your notes. So if I forgot to say something or share something with you, nobody knows but me. So
Right.
my job is just to keep going, keep going, and the message will come full circle. So,
and I don't preach with notes. I do bullet points. Some of my friends have full manuscripts. I can't do that. I take like a paper. I remember one time I preached at this mega church, and the pastor was like, "Where's your sermon?" I was like, "Right here." It was on a little yellow sticky note thing. And he was like, "What?" He was so scared. I think he thought I was gonna like wreck his church. And when it was all over, he was like, "Dude, you did that whole hour sermon just off that?" I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Because what's in you is gonna come out. It's gonna
Absolutely. What's in you is gonna come out. I love that. So do you want to answer that question around why the churches are closed?
Why the church is closed?
Yes.
Well, number one, churches are closed because whoever's the pastor of that church wants it to be closed. He feels like that is what's best for his congregation. So, yeah. And I think any pastor that has a church closed, it's because according to how he feels and his perspective on the way things are and what he considers to be the safest direction to take his church, that's why his church is closed, he or she. And so those that are closed, I respect them for making that decision. Those that are open because they feel like that's the best for their congregation, I respect their decision.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I believe churches are closed.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Great. Really, it's up to the pastor. Open.
Yeah.
It's not up to the people at this point, right? But whatever
Sure
the best interest of the congregation, of course, we support that.
That's right.
So, next question. We talked about your funny fact, your fear. What do you do for fun when you're not out preaching, writing books, family time? What in your spare time?
Sleep.
Sleep.
I love to sleep. I like getting sleep. But then, here's a little fun fact. I am into aviation. I love flying airplanes.
Okay.
And so I have a fully built flight simulator at home. And I also, I'm a member of our local flight academy. So we're able to go up and take Cessnas up. And so we take flights around Myrtle Beach and stuff like that. And when I'm traveling, I take flights. I go to different airports and go up in the air for a little bit and fly. And I also love boating.
Oh, okay.
So taking our boat out and stuff is also fun. So I love doing that. And yeah, that's fun for me. Just a change of scenery, vacations, of course. Most people follow my Instagram. I do more of that on Instagram than Facebook and stuff. But Instagram, I kind of share those personal moments. You'll see a lot of vacations and stuff. So that's what I like to do. I like change of scenery. I like flying. I like boating. And I love just being in a place where the scenery is nice. Just to relax.
I hear you on that. I love to travel. I'm looking
Yeah.
to travel more after things get back to a bit normal. You know what I mean?
The U.S. government currently has my passport. I'm so disgusted right now.
What? Do you want?
Well, my passport was set to expire this year, so I sent it in February, right before the coronavirus hit.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, it's shut down. We're not going to be sending. Everything closed." So.
So you're on lockdown officially. You can't travel, really.
I can only travel domestically.
We got a question here from Alexander Patterson. What about the Bible teaching? What about Bible teaching? What do you mean, Alexander? Are you asking more in regards to does he enjoy Bible teaching, or what about Bible teaching while the churches are closed?
Oh, I love Bible teaching. The greatest thing about Bible teaching is that you can teach the Bible inside of a building, or you can teach it on the streets, or you can teach it in your house, or you can teach it on social media. Like I do to over 2 million people every single day. You can do it on television like I do to over millions every day. You can do it on radio like I'm on every day. So, Bible teaching is awesome, isn't it, Alexander? You can be in a church building, or you can be in a prison, or you can be in an alley. You can be on a boat. You can teach the Bible from anywhere.
That's true. That's very, very true. Great question. Thanks, Alexander. So let me ask you a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. Let's dig in a little bit. So,
Sure.
When did you become an entrepreneur?
I became an entrepreneur. That's funny. Back in 2008.
All right. So 12 years ago.
I started a clothing line.
You started a clothing line. Okay.
Yeah. And it failed.
It failed?
It failed miserably.
Okay.
It
Why
was so bad. It was a line of dress shirts. It was called MRG. My initials are MRG, but I made a word, IMMARGEE, MRG.
Mm-hmm.
And it started, I had these nice designs. I got with my friends and we were designing these shirts, and they were dress shirts, collar dress shirts, button all the way down. And man, I trusted this company. I'm not going to name the country, but I trusted this company to mass produce them for me.
Mm-hmm.
Got them. They looked good. It was awesome. And so anywhere that I found that people were having, were rocking sell things, we would set up. So people were buying the shirts, but like a few days later, I was getting phone calls like the sleeve was falling off.
No way.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious.
Oh no. So the quality wasn't the best. So what, you just ended up dissolving that company and then you began what? Then what happened after the line?
What's up, Justin? It was so embarrassing, but people liked me as a person, so they didn't like embarrass me.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't throw me under the bus. I didn't have to pay anybody money back, but it was just really embarrassing that I got these shirts and people were supporting me, and they would get it. They'd be like, "Hey, one of the sleeves is shorter than the other." One person showed me a picture of the sleeve had absolutely fallen off, like it turned into a jersey.
Oh no.
It was so bad. So that was my first entrepreneur effort.
Okay, then what happened after that?
Huh?
What happened after that? What did you do after the clothing line?
Well, I started, I got my degree in music. So a lot of people don't know that. I'm a jazz piano guy. Oh, you can't see the piano.
Oh,
but yeah. So I got my degree in music. I'm in the jazz piano. So I was gigging a lot. I was touring with a few groups and doing some gospel stuff. I was playing for this big mega church in Carolina. And then I realized that ministry was really my thing, to speak and to preach and to teach. So I shifted into that. And my first real entrepreneur effort was beginning Marcus Gill International.
Okay.
And when I started Marcus Gill International, a global ministry, of course, it was through book sales, through speaking engagements, through donations. And we ended up bringing in over $100,000 in the first 3 months. And so now, you're 25 years old. You're coming from a background where everybody's not rich, of course. You're living in the attic of your grandparents' house, and you're starting this thing called Marcus Gill International. But we were able to bring in over $100,000 in the first 3 months of starting. And that got the attention of a lot of business bloggers. I was on Business Rockstars out in LA. Huffington Post did a story about it. Black Enterprise magazine interviewed me. There was a lot that happened because they were like, it was impressive that I could use social media to make $100,000 in 90 days for business, So now, of course, that has grown and it's expanded since then. It's gone from now just being a ministry to we support over 30 charities a month. We have our own television, radio, production studio, music studios for me to air on television every weekend across the United States and different parts of the world. What else? We have Gill House Books. I was publishing as an author with Charisma House Media. They were my first book deal. But then when I realized, all right, that's nice to get a check from a publishing company, but then you got to sell all those books for them and do all that flipping. I realized, wait a minute, I can write my own books. I can hire people to edit and to do everything that I need done and then publish books under my own name. So I opened Gill House Books last year, and I have 11 books available now. 11 written by me, one written by my wife Dominique, one written by my brother Marcel. So it's only my family that's pretty much published under Gill House Books. One day I think we're going to expand and spread out, but right now it's kind of just family focused. I've got another book coming out in July, and then I'm going to do a political book for our elections. I know you're in Canada.
Yes.
But our elections here in the United States, I'm going to do a political book, my first political tone book, release it in October to help us vote the right way. So Gill House Books is doing great. We sell more than 100 books a week. That's small compared to some of the big companies. But hey, one day the 100 will turn to 1,000, the 1,000 will turn to, so that does good.
You gotta just start, right? You gotta start to be.
Yeah, you gotta start. So, and I'm telling everybody this to motivate some people, man, that got this ideal on the inside, all right? And they got it, it's driving deep on the inside that there's something in you that you want to accomplish. Just start. We have the Gill Music Group. We have 2 songs that have been listed in the top 20 Billboard charts in the gospel area. A single I put out back in 2017.
Okay.
And then my wife's first single came out early this year. We're going to be putting out more music in like the next 30 days or so.
Mm-hmm.
So the Gill Music Group, plus this is another little secret thing that most people don't know about me.
Mm-hmm.
I do voiceovers for dance music.
Really? When did that?
And I did a song with my friend. His name is Jacob Cologne. I don't know if he'll pop on here, but he is a Billboard and Grammy winner when it comes to DJ house music. And so we did a track called Dance Like David. And it's one of those real club beats, you know. And he wanted me to come on, and I preached on top of the track. So there were people in clubs all around the world dancing to my preaching in the club.
Love it. I love it.
So the song was called Dance Like David.
Yeah.
And like I hopped on them and like, listen, David was a warrior. David was a king. David was this. And there was a time where he praised out of his clothes. And sometimes you got a lot of stuff going on and you're like, you need to just get loose and dance. Yep. And it was like, you know, it's crazy. That song got nominated for a Grammy. And it was like #1 on the Billboard charts for like 2 weeks or something like that.
Oh, cool.
So there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot that happens in my life.
I didn't know that. That's for sure. And I know a lot of people out there didn't know that as well.
Yeah. So you were just asking about all the entrepreneurial stuff. Yeah. So.
And you know what? My next question is staying on that entrepreneur tip, right? Because a lot of people want to start their own businesses, especially now in a pandemic where people have lost their jobs. People are looking for new opportunities. People are afraid of potentially losing their job and are looking to start an opportunity. And I know as a business owner too, we go through challenges. It's not always peaches and cream. It is a lot of work. But for yourself and the things that you've done thus far from an entrepreneurial perspective, what would you say are some of the challenges you had to overcome?
You know, this is going to sound bad when I say this, but for me, the pandemic has been a season of restoration and renaissance. Mm-hmm. I've learned this in life, and it's this: if you go through storms with the wrong mindset, the storm will always defeat you. But if you go through it with the right mindset, the storm won't be a burden; it'll be a blessing. And so, I know that everybody probably doesn't have the same thought pattern that I have in this season, which is okay. But according to the word in the Bible that I believe, Jesus said, in this world, we're going to have trials. We're going to have tribulations. He said, but be of good cheer. So whenever we go through things, it's not that we got to start feeling like this isn't a part of life. No, this stuff is a part of life. But Jesus told us, be of good cheer in it, not after it's over. Be of good cheer in it. Peace and prosperity is not limited to your experience. That it's not limited to the experience you have after trouble. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we look for prosperity, or we look for joy, or we look for success, and we look for it in the absence of trouble, or the absence of a pandemic, or the absence of crisis. No. Peace and prosperity is only valid when you're in the middle of trouble. That's when it really means something. The value of your strength and the value of your ability to really win in life it's not increased by what happens in the absence of trouble. Your value goes up in the middle of trouble.
I love that. It is so true, right? Because I look at it like, you know what, if the pandemic, it has, you know, lost their lives. I'm obviously so sorry. And my condolences to the family. But for me, like, I see so many opportunities. Like this has been a blessing in disguise, you know?
Absolutely.
So it's all like you just said about the mindset. Like, how do you look at it? And the truth is, people, we're going to go through challenges. That's life. It's inevitable. But it's I look at it, it's an opportunity for growth, you know? Like, right. How can you learn? What can you learn? How can you become stronger as a result? So I love what you said about, like, how peace comes during these times, right? Whereas we feel like it should be happening after. No,
it should be happening. Right. It's in it. I was talking with my daughter's doctor today. We took her to a medical visit. And he asked me, he said, we're going through so much right now. He said, how do you stay so positive? He said, I watch you on television and stuff. He's like, how do you stay so positive and stuff? And I said, there is never a season of my life that's a waste. Either I win or I learn a lesson.
Yes.
And there's so many lessons to be learned in this season right now. I've met so many people that say they've discovered so many great things about themselves that they would have never discovered going to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
People discover they have talent, they have skills, they've got ability. There are people that are realizing that they're actually stronger than they thought, because they're like, man, if somebody would have told me I was going to be going through this right now, I would have lost my mind. But I'm going through it and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm okay. Yeah, because you're discovering that you're so much stronger than you think. Give yourself a little credit. Pat yourself on the back in this season and just recognize, man, I'm making it through this. Somebody's losing their mind through this, but I'm making it. I'm still alive. I'm still eating. I'm still wearing clothes. I'm getting new ideas. I'm expecting, like my expectation levels haven't left. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's how you handle a pandemic. Don't panic in it, prosper in it.
Love it. Which brings me to what we're going to be talking about next, because I want to ask you to share some advice to those who are out there who are listening and who will listen. What's some tips on what you can do to prosper in a pandemic, what we're going through right now?
Sure. Number one, rest. That doesn't make sense. You thought I was going to say, oh, get to work. Get up. Write your ideas down. Paint a picture.
Like,
put something on the refrigerator.
Right. I thought it was like, get your mind right, because there's opportunities waiting for you.
Right.
But rest. Okay. Rest. Why rest?
The Lord gave me this idea when I was speaking. I was preparing a sermon series some time ago. And the idea of divine rest. Everybody that's watching right now, if you can, I want everybody to type the word rest. Everybody type that. Rest, rest, rest. R-E-S-T. Rest. It's so important that you take this time to rest. Because if you don't rest, you're going to be worn out and you won't even have the strength, mentally or physically, to be able to produce something great. All right? So many times people say, oh, you got all this free time. If you're not working on your goals right now, if you're not writing out your business plan, if you're not writing your first book, if you're not doing this, you're wasting this pandemic. No, that can be true after you rest. Yeah. You got to have some divine rest. That's being able to relax without sleeping. Because, see, I'm not talking about going to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm talking about being okay. Chill for a minute. Look at all these people. Yeah, you're listening. Rest. Take a moment, all right? Take a moment and rest. Get your mind to relax. Get your body to relax. And when you feel relaxed and at peace, you're going to have joy about getting up and producing. So you rest first. And then after you rest your body and after you rest your mind, start negotiating. Start negotiating. Say, you know what? What's most important in my life right now that I can focus on now that I have time?
Absolutely.
All right? And you choose that thing that's the most important thing to you now that you have time, and you focus on that thing. Focus on perfecting it. Don't start focusing on your weaknesses. Focus on the things that are good, those things that are important, those things that stand out to you, and perfect those things. Sometimes people say, oh, discover your weaknesses and work on them. No. Well, that's cool when it comes time for that. But what about the things that are good that you can be making better? Because it's good already. That means it's easy.
Yes.
You're not stressed out focusing on that thing. So focus on the things that are good and build those things. Perfect those things. If you love writing, perfect your writing. What am I saying? Learn, grow. I've been doing so much studying. I've been reading about men who have been prominent motivators in the 1800s. I want to hear what they're saying. I'm studying their theology. I'm studying their ideologies and their thoughts. Yes. All right. I'm reading about family. I'm reading about being a better husband, being a better father, being a better entrepreneur. I'm learning. I'm talking with my mentors. All right. I'm not out here just trying to be like, oh, let's see if I can write the next book so I can make some money. No, I'm learning right now so that when all this is over, I can come out of the pandemic with 10, 20, 30 times more wisdom than I had before it. And that way, when you get back into the track of things, you are a better nurse, a better teacher, a better pastor, a better husband, a better wife, a better father, a better mother, a better construction worker, a better therapist, all right? You're better than what you were. Everybody's like, oh, it's a pandemic. You should be doing something new. No, take this time to perfect who you already are so that when it's over, you're not the same person you were before it.
I love that.
That's my advice.
That's exactly what we talked about last week, and I was talking with Melody. It's like, how are you going to come out after the pandemic?
Oh, wow.
I can't come out the same way I went in. You know, you got to come out stronger, wiser. Like now, people, it's so tempting to sit back and watch Netflix, chill out. Take a time to pick up a book. Take a time to invest in yourself. I always say this. I don't know why it seems difficult for many people. Invest in yourself.
Right.
Asset. Feed your mind. Feed your soul. Feed your body.
Sure.
And I love that about rest. I'm thinking like rest isn't sleep. No, you didn't say sleep, but rest. Because when you're resting, you have energy. You can problem solve better. You can see the good in every situation. And you know me, I'm a big believer on what you believe in, you attract. So you put out good, expect good. If you're sitting down stressed out day in, day out, worried, depressed, it's gonna be like that tenfold. So focus on what's good in your life. There's always something to be grateful for. And the more of us who can stop complaining and start appreciating, you're gonna see your life transform for the better. So I love what you said there. People, if you have any questions, I see some coming in. Feel free to drop them in the line, and we'll get Marcus to answer them. So I don't think the pandemic will be over. Are you asking? Do you think the pandemic will end, Marcus?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be over. It's not going to last forever.
No, and people might be hearing, like, I've heard rumors too, because like I'm planning my annual ladies event for November, and there are rumors that there's going to be a spike of COVID in the fall, and so they won't take my deposit to book the hotel because they got to be, they don't know if they can host it.
Yeah.
But for those of you who are worried about when is the pandemic going to be over, I think it's just focus on today. Today, what can you do today? How can you show up today?
Sure.
Tomorrow will have its own share of things to deal with, but focus on today and what can you do today to become better? What can you do to invest in yourself? What can you do today to bring your ideas to fruition? Now is the time to really look into yourself and say, what do I want? Why do I want it? And why is that so important? Love it. Any more questions, drop them in the line and we'll have Marcus answer them for you. So rest. Love it. That's the best.
Take a break.
Take a break. Mentally.
Take a break.
Emotionally. Physically if you need to. Marcus, we got one from WHT Girl. Marcus, you are awesome. Been listening to you for a while now. Thank you.
God bless you. Love you so much. Thank you for the love. I don't know what your name is. I see the A name, but love you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Course of every second. I don't know what you mean by that. Feel free to complete that question or that sentence, and I'll get to you. No more.
So, Natasha, when are you planning to come to the United States and host your NBR conference?
I know. I was just talking to a girl, another boss in we call Boss Queens in Georgia on Friday. I'm like, as soon as this pandemic is over and I feel comfortable to travel, I'll be there for sure. So it's looking like realistically early next year.
Yeah, 2021. That's when I'm going to probably start my live events again. 2021. It's so unfortunate. I was hoping to be able to at least do a year-end service or year-end gathering thing, but I don't know. I really care about all the people that are connected with me, my partners and followers and stuff like that. So I wouldn't want to put anybody at risk with traveling if it's not safe. So we're definitely going to look to 2021, hitting a whole bunch of cities again. Prayerfully, this stuff will be over by then. But if not, hey, listen, we're going to keep plowing just the way we are.
It's all about perfect timing. I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
Hey, listen, Prince Marcel just said something really encouraging.
Yeah, I was going to just read it for you. It says, it will be over because only salvation lasts forever. I know people are fearful, but God didn't give us a spirit of fear. And I hear the Spirit of God saying, I need you to be excited all over again.
That's a good word.
I love it.
That's a good word. Thank you for that, Prince Marcel. My brother's name is Marcel, but that's not my brother. But it is my brother, actually. You are my brother.
Yes. And, we're not going all biblical, but it does say that, God doesn't give us a spirit of fear, but of what is the power.
Power, love, and a sound mind.
And that's where it goes back to the mindset, people. You got to think about what are you focusing on?
Yeah.
So, there was a flood here, 2 days ago, of course, it's saying in Calgary. Thankfully, I live in the Northwest. My house is good. My vehicle's in a garage. But so many people, Marcus, have much damage to their house, their properties, their vehicles. Like, there was a lot of water. It was a flood.
Wow. I'm glad you're okay.
And I'm saying for those who have lost in this, I know it's not a great experience, but trust that you have life. And when you have life, that's the greatest gift of all. I don't worry about things that money can replace. That's just my philosophy.
That's right.
That's right. Okay.
That's right.
So I didn't ask you about rewards. Like, what's the most rewarding thing that you get to do every day, or what brings you that fulfillment in what you do?
The most rewarding thing?
Yes.
I'd have to say family. You know, to see that my family has no worries every day. I think that's the most rewarding thing. And then second is the testimonies that I receive. I read mail every day. One of my staff members drops off mail every day. They bring it to my house so I can read the letters. I read letters every day that come to the P.O. box. And I read the testimonies and the messages from people saying, and then I read my emails and I check my DMs on Facebook and Instagram. And to see that people are really like reading my books and they're watching me on TV, they're watching me on the internet or whatever, listening on the radio, and everybody saying, man, you're giving me so much hope. Or, man, you said something was going to happen and it happened after I did it. You know, that is so rewarding. I think that's the most rewarding thing.
I can agree with that on that. You know, for me, for family, life, and then working with people and seeing them really step into their greatness and own their brings me joy, you know?
Absolutely.
I got a lot of comments, just, you know, future motivational speaker, Chris Gill in the My Name Jesus. Yes, if that's what you're working on, yes. We need
that's awesome.
More positivity in this world, that's for sure.
Yeah. And then this is rewarding. Being on with you. You're phenomenal.
I know, even though it's virtual, you know, you got to start, right? You got to start.
Listen, man, this is rewarding. To be able to talk with you, and you got so much vision, and you're inspiring us, and, you know, the conversation that keep us all stirred up. These things are rewarding, these moments. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. I do this because it truly fulfills me. Like when people say, how are you always so happy? I get that all the time. How are you always so happy? I'm like, why wouldn't I be?
Why wouldn't
I don't have not to be, you know, or you know, I have to remain positive. Like you have to, because what you focus on, you attract. But so you talked about family, and I'm going to ask my last question. It's around, well, now, it might be a biblical quote for you or whatever. It might be your own quote, but, you know, I'm big on motivational tips and quotes I share. And I want to know, what's your favorite one? What do you share with yourself in particular?
My favorite quote is by a man named Ravi Zacharias. He died a few weeks ago. Ravi Zacharias died a few weeks ago. He was one of the world's leading defenders of the faith. And my favorite quote has to be a quote from him that says, everybody has a right to believe whatever they want to believe. Choose to believe what's right.
I haven't heard that one, but I like it.
Yep.
What do you guys feel out there? What do you guys think? What do you take from that?
Everybody has a right to believe whatever they want to believe.
Whatever you want to believe.
But choose to believe what's right.
Okay, we got another comment from Marcel. He says, I love that mindset. Yes, an attitude of gratitude is best. Sometimes blessings come in good health, stable finances, a roof over your head, and realized potential. I'm 26-year-old. Wow, Christian from Jamaica. Welcome. And I've always followed your work. With God, all things are possible indeed.
God bless you, my brother. Much love to you.
Love you, man. We're wrapping up, people. We got a few more minutes while we have Marcus on the phone or on live. Do you have any questions for him?
Well, you know,
do you have anything that you want to, you know, ask or you want to share? Now's your time before we wrap up.
I think it's been so good. This has been a great conversation. This has been a great conversation. And I promise you're going to get that book. I'm going to send you a whole box full of gifts.
Whatever. Sure. I've been waiting, people. I don't know. I think I've been waiting for a few months, you know, but internationally, I know shipping has been a challenge, so it's all okay. I totally understand. But when I do get it, I'm going to be super excited. And you'll know.
And listen, I'm looking forward to your book. I think a lot of people are looking forward to your book.
That's what I'm saying. In the pandemic, like, you know, it's the first stage. Like, I'm going to write several books. I know this, but I've created my workbook, and I'm excited because there's a lot of good content in there. And now it's just to get it published, printed, and out there. But I'm going through the last round of editing, but it feels good, you know?
Yeah.
You talk about rest. I've been having a lot of late nights being focused on what's next, and that's always been something that I wanted to do. I want to do. So now that it's coming to fruition, it's exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, you got a couple questions here. Let's see. Marcus, what made you step out into your purpose? Was it a point where you hit rock bottom?
You know, I didn't hit rock bottom. My purpose, I stepped into my purpose simply because I had a passion to see some things in church change.
Okay.
I've been ahead of the game for a long time. And so I really believe that our purpose is discovered by what makes us angry. So sometimes we are frustrated with maybe people being on the street poor. So maybe your purpose is to go help the poor. Maybe some people, they get so frustrated when they see like single parents. So they start their businesses where they help single parents. You know, there's a whole bunch of different things that frustrate. Some people are frustrated with sickness, and so they get into the medical industry. That's their purpose, you know. So my purpose, I got tired of seeing like church people broke. And so I knew God had given me a word, He gave me a message and a ministry to get people to understand like being a Christian isn't about being poor. Jesus was not poor, you know. And so I stepped in it, man. I stepped in. Didn't hit rock bottom, but I got excited and I just stepped in whatever way I could. I was poor at the time, but I preached my way out of it. Everything I taught people, I began to live it.
Yeah.
And so it became a reflection of my life. So yeah, that's how I stepped in.
And I like what you talked about purpose there, right? It is. And I believe we all have a purpose, people. We all do. And I say this over and over again. When you find your purpose, you find your life. When you find your purpose, you find your life. And for me, it was something like you talked about, you know, angry about, but it was more about fulfilling. What could I do that even if I wasn't getting paid, I would still do it?
Exactly.
And that's what I do today. And I'm getting paid for it because it's a business, obviously. But if you can find something that you enjoy, that fulfills you, you know, Pastor Marcus says that maybe aggravates and you want to change, you want to provide a solution. That's what you should be doing. And now is the time to really discover what that is, people, and move forward in that.
Right. Facts. So this is good.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up here.
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna wrap up here, people, because we're now actually a little over time. But you know, I want to thank you for joining me today. I know we had some issues you were saying with Instagram earlier, but
it looked like Instagram was down, but it came up just in time for us.
See, it was meant to be.
Always.
All right, so thank you. Yeah, if there's anything else you want to say to everyone that's out there, how do they connect with you?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You can stay connected with me on Facebook, Marcus Gill Verified, page only. We're not verified on Instagram yet, but everybody I think can realize which page is mine. And then, of course, my podcast, Marcus Gill Podcast. You can look up the podcast on Google and select whichever podcast form you want to listen on if you want to hear some podcasts, some daily words of wisdom. And, of course, visit marcusgill.tv or gillhousebooks.com. And you'll see a list of all of our products and anything that we have available to help you stay encouraged during this season.
Thank you so much. And thanks for the love, people. Thanks for joining me. I know we're going to come off here, but I'll chat with you soon. Thanks for joining me.
And if you're watching right now and you're not already following Tasha, go follow her. She's got great stuff. She'll change your life and keep you motivated for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Very sweet. Thank you.
All
Thank you. All right. I'm going to say goodbye to you again. Thanks for joining me today.
All right. Take care.
It's a pleasure having you. Take care.
Bye.
All right, beautiful people, kings and queens. How was that? You know what I liked most about this talk was the period where I asked him what was the advice around what to do in a pandemic. How do you prosper? And it was rest, right? And not instead of sleeping, but thinking about how can I become my best self? How can I invest more in myself? How can I rest so that I can have more energy to pursue the things that I enjoy? And so for all of you who will join me today, so grateful for you. I just want to encourage you. Now is the time to dig deep. Now is the time to find out, what do you really love to do? What's my purpose? What fulfills me? And then go and do it. You know, I always say everything happens for a reason with me, and we just got to find it. So stay positive. You know how I like to end. Yes. If you want to connect with me, I offer a free 30-minute, thanks for the follow, beautiful. I offer a free 30-minute discovery session. How do you do that? You can follow me and look at my website, natashabrussell.com. It's 30 minutes to talk about what do you love? What do you want to do? How do we achieve greater success according to your standards? So feel free to book that. Follow me if you're not. Stay tuned for Monday, next Monday. We're going to have a great show, Rick McLennan, talking about how to grow your business. So come back and join me 4 p.m. next Monday. And I'm going to leave it at this. Be confident, people. Be confident in who you are and in who you're created to be. Be fearless enough to pursue what sets your soul on fire. Be bold enough to own your greatness, but more importantly, people, be you. Be you, because there's no one in this world like you. Know how amazing you are. All right? Take care.